A couple of weeks ago, I spoke to almost 1,000 7th and 8th graders, teachers, and staff at a middle school up in Encinitas, California. They brought me in to talk to their students about how our screens are impacting our brain, how to be better advocates for themselves when it comes to understanding how what they're consuming online is influencing them, influencing their beliefs, how they see themselves, other people, the world, and short-term and long-term decisions. It was powerful. We also talked about how to protect themselves from one of the most high-risk online dangers kids face when they get on the internet, but we'll talk about that at a different time. The core essence of all of my work is helping to guide people to understand and then practically apply into their lives how what we consume shapes who we become. Knowing that is exciting, and it's terrifying when you are unaware of it or when you are aware of it, but you don't know how to use that for something that can create real change and freedom and transformation and healing in your life, to help you become more aligned to who God's really called you to be, to discover what His purpose and His calling is for your life and how you're meant to serve other people. And so I want to dive into an idea that I talk about in my upcoming book that's along the similar vein, that I think is one of the most important things for the next generation to understand. Something that I wish someone had really walked me through to help me understand and develop skills in my life when I was much younger, that would have saved me from making a bunch of mistakes that I think that I'm putting out here to help you or to help your kid or someone that you know, to avoid making those same mistakes and to use this to support you and encourage you and uplift you. Here it is. Our attention is our most valuable currency. Not our time, not our money, but our attention. And whatever we give our attention to, we can never get that attention back. It's unrefundable. And so when we think about that and how whatever we give our attention to expands, whatever we focus on expands, and how a majority of that is happening at a subconscious level, being able to have an experience like the middle school presentation I gave, having a moment like this where you can pause, check, reflect on, is what I'm consuming actually making me feel better about myself, feel better about my life, or am I comparing myself to somebody else's life or society's standards of success, or whatever the case may be, right? And to choose to keep following this thing. Do I want this to teach me? Do I want this to influence me? Do I want this to be my teacher? Does this help me grow closer to who God's called me to be, or not? Though I didn't speak to faith when I was giving this middle school presentation, I was at a public school, we broke it down really simply, right? And for the middle schoolers, it was just reflecting on, hey, when you're following this kind of content or this kind of influencer, you're spending X amount of time online, how is that making you feel? How is that, do you feel like it's creating do you feel like your device in general is creating more of a crutch for you that you need to feel comfortable and okay, that without it you don't feel comfortable and okay? Is this content helping you feel better about yourself? Helping you feel happy when you look in the mirror? Helping you see your peers or the opposite gender in a healthy way? Or what is that experience like? And then how can you pause to reflect on that, to check how something is making you feel, and to choose, do I want to keep going down this path or not? The neurobiologists, psychologists, and engineers who created our algorithm and created our devices don't care about your past, your present, or your future. They care about what will keep you online. They don't care if the things that you're seeing and that you're being fed are true, are things that give you hope, are things that help you become more of who God's called you to be, or to live out the purpose that He has for your life. It doesn't care about any of those things. So that ability to be able to consciously come back to our choice and the power in our choice, the power of our choice and what we give our attention to is a huge win and step in the right direction, and helping younger people and the next generation build skills in that, so that no matter how the digital landscape evolves and no matter what's happening in the world, they can really come back to that to help them discern what's real and what's not, and what's worth giving their attention and praise to and modeling after. So whether you're just trying to figure out who you are in the world, or whether you're a parent who is completely overwhelmed by how to talk about these things with your kids, or if you're a leader who serves families, this conversation in this book is for you. So stay tuned and follow for more. The book is coming and I'm so excited to share more about it with you. See you in the next one.